Hello and welcome to Ben's Balls of Yarn. My name is Ben and this channel is all about crochet. Before we get to today's tutorial, I just wanted to give a bit of backstory to as how we got to this point. Last year, my cousin had a baby, and as a crocheter, I really wanted to crochet her a blanket. Now, that was mistake number one. I should have just done an amigurumi doll or something because I know what I'm like. I like to do little projects that don't take too long because if it takes days and days and days, I inevitably get bored. Anyway, I started making this blanket last year in the summer. This is a beautiful mosaic crochet design. It was my first time ever doing mosaic crochet, and I guess it was going pretty well, but because it was taking so long, I took a massive break, and when I made my crochet mittens, I ended up having to loosen my tension to get the colour work to work, and then when I came back to this blanket, my tension had become loose for it as well. So at the bottom, the stitches are quite a good tightness, not too gappy, but at the top, they've gotten really gappy, and the blanket is now a lot wider at the top than it is at the bottom. It just wasn't working for me. I just think mosaic crochet, I've given it a go, but it just doesn't, it's not working for me. Just to exemplify the difference in my crochet tension, I have two amigurumi dolls here. The Captain Kirk I made before I made the gloves, and the Draco Malfoy I made after. Now they're made using exactly the same yarn and exactly the same crochet hook, but you can obviously see my tension has just got a lot looser and now the dolls come out a lot bigger. That all being said, I've decided to actually just start a new crochet blanket for my cousin's baby. She's turning 1 this month and my aunt and uncle are flying out to see her because she lives in France. So I want to get a blanket done, but I've got about 12 days to do it. I really do hate myself. Anyway, I've ordered some lovely yarn. So I've got this Drops Big Merino yarn in lavender and off-white, and I'm going to crochet a blanket that I have designed the pattern myself, and I'm going to share that pattern with you today. This video will explain the pattern in its entirety, but if you'd like to get a written pattern, you can get it on my Etsy or Ravelry. Or I've actually decided to reopen my Patreon. Now, I closed my Patreon last year for reasons which I'm going to explain in my next video, but I'm going to be reopening it for this pattern, and it's going to be available for every tier. So if you want to get a written version of this pattern, the cheapest way to do it is go to my Patreon. Just another thing about my Patreon before we get into this blanket, I'm actually going to put every single pattern that I've ever created on the fanatical tier of my Patreon. So if you want to get this Kirk pattern, the other Star Trek patterns I've done, my mittens, my baubles, go to my Patreon and that's all available on my fanatical tier. This merino yarn is an Aran weight, and I did a little bit of research online to see how much Aran weight I would need, and I've bought 7 of the purple and 7 of the white. I don't know if this is going to be enough, but do you know who will know? Future Ben. So I'm going to pass you off to Future Ben now so he can tell you about the tools and materials you'll need for this blanket. Thank you, Past Ben. I have now completed the blanket and I can tell you that you will require 12 balls of yarn in the main colour and 12 balls of yarn in the contrasting colour. If you go for the Drops Big Merino as I did, I'd recommend going for the off-white and then a dark colour. This lavender is okay, but maybe even a darker colour would have been better, like the navy blue or even the dark grey. I think there's a forest green as well that could have worked. You will also need a 4.5mm crochet hook and then you'll be ready to go. My blanket turned out to be 90 centimeters by 140 centimeters using the 4.5mm crochet hook. Starting with your main coloured yarn, leave a 15 centimeter or 6-inch tail and make a slip knot. This is my 4.5mm crochet hook, and slip the slip knot onto the hook. Now you want to chain 146. The first row of the pattern is open square bracket, MC, CC, close square bracket, times 72. This means you want to half double crochet in the main colour, half double crochet in the contrasting colour, and repeat this 72 times. Let me show you how to do that. We want to work into the back bars of this chain. So here you can see my chain looks like a series of V's. We want to turn the chain over, and now it looks like a series of bumps, and we want to work our stitches of our first row into these bumps. So our first stitch is a main coloured half double crochet. So I'm going to yarn over, I'm going to skip the first two bumps, and I'm going to go into this third bump. I like to use my fingernail to pull the bump onto the hook. I'm going to yarn over, pull through a loop, and then I'm going to stop. Normally we would yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on the hook for half double crochet, but I want to change to my contrasting colour, and you always want to change in the last loop of the previous stitch. This is my contrast colour, and again I'm going to leave a 15cm tail. I'm going to fold the yarn at that 15cm mark, and I'm going to loop this yarn over the hook. Note that I have the working yarn on the front side and the tail on the back. So I'm going to pick up this contrast colour yarn now, and I'm going to hold the tail of the yarn with my thumb and index finger, and I'm going to pull the yarn through the loops on the hook. So now we've completed our first single crochet and we've changed colour. Now I'm going to go into the next bump with the purple. So I'm going to yarn over, I'm going to go into this next bump, and I'm still holding the tail end with my thumb and index finger. Oh, this is my middle finger, I do apologise. And I'm going to yarn over with the purple, and now I'm going to drop the purple because I want to pick up the white. Now, you could keep picking up the colours and dropping them, but I find it much easier to hold both colours at once. Well, much quicker anyway. So here's what you want to do. You want to make sure your contrast colour is at the top and your main colour is at the bottom. You want to hold these 2 yarns with your bottom 3 fingers, as it were. Insert your index finger between the 2 yarn strands. Then, with the index finger of your right hand, you want to insert it between the 2 yarn strands from the bottom, twist, and then insert your index finger of your left hand up through those 2 strands again. So now they're crossing over your index finger. So now you have your 2 yarns and they're both in working position, and there is a bit of a space between them, so it's easy to work. We want to complete this stitch in the main colour because our next stitch is going to be a main coloured stitch. So to work the white yarn, you want to go underneath the purple yarn, or in other words, you want to go between the yarn strands and your hand, like so. Pull through a loop. So now we've done 1 stitch in the main colour and 1 stitch in the contrasting colour, and you want to repeat this 71 more times for a total of 72 repeats. Yarn over with the main colour, insert your hook into the next bump, yarn over with the main colour, pull through a loop, yarn over with the purple, pull through a loop. Now yarn over with the purple, insert your hook into the next bump, yarn over the purple again, pull through a loop, and now to complete the stitch, yarn over with the white and pull through a loop. And now I've done 2 repeats. Let me just show you one more time. Yarn over with the white, insert your hook into the next bump, yarn over with the white, pull through a loop, yarn over with your contrasting colour, pull through a loop. Yarn over with your contrasting colour, insert your hook into the next bump, yarn over with your contrast colour, pull through a loop, yarn over with the main colour, pull through a loop, through all 3 loops on the hook. And you just want to continue doing this, and by holding your work in this way, you can actually work with some speed, and you just want to keep repeating main colour, contrasting colour, all the way along till you get to the end of the row. I'm on my final stitch of my sample, and the final instructions in the pattern are chCc2 TW. So chCc2 means chain in the contrast colour times 2. So I'm going to pull through a loop in the purple to complete this stitch because my next stitch is going to be a chain stitch in the purple. I'm going to chain 2 and then I'm going to turn the work. Now this side of the work, so all even rows, we're going to work differently to the odd rows. For the even rows, we cannot hold both strands of yarn at the same time, so we're just going to work with one strand at a time. So the second row of the pattern is written CC, open square brackets, MC2, CC2, close square brackets, times 25, MC2, CC. So this basically means we're going to start with one half double crochet in the contrasting colour, then we're going to alternate colours until we get to the very last stitch, which is going to again be in the contrasting colour. So pick up your contrasting colour and half double crochet into the next stitch. When you have 3 loops on the hook, we're going to change colour because our next 2 stitches are going to be in the main colour. Now, when we're doing the back of the work, we're going to always bring our working yarn over the top of the other coloured yarn. So then I'm going to pick up the white yarn, pull through to complete the stitch, and now we're going to half double crochet 2 in this main colour. So complete that stitch in white, then our second one, stop when you have 3 loops on the hook, and then bring your white over the top of the work, pick up the contrasting colour, and then complete that stitch. Yarn over, insert hook, pull through a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops for a half double crochet, and again, stop when you have 3 on the hook, bring the purple over the top of the white, and then pick up the white. And again, 2 half double crochets in the white. So I've almost completed the row. You can see I've alternated 2 half double crochets along the row, and then my final stitch is going to be in the contrasting colour. And then the final instructions say to chain 2 in the contrasting colour. So that's what I'm going to do. And turn the work. And that's our second row complete. There is actually one more step we need to do, which is to untwist our yarn. Obviously I'm just doing a little sample, but if you're doing the whole 144 stitches, you're going to have to do this untwisting step more than once at the end of the row. I recommend you do it after every 24 stitches or every 30 stitches or every 50 stitches. Just depends how brave you are about unwinding yarn. So to unwind the yarn, you just need to bring one yarn over the other yarn in a anti-clockwise direction. And now they are untwisted, and then we can continue with row 3. I just wanted to give you a quick update on how my blanket's going. Last night I crocheted the first 12 rows and I didn't like it, but this morning I've continued crocheting and I'm starting to like it more. I managed to crochet 12 rows in one evening, so this is good news because I've got 13 days to complete this before my aunt and uncle go away, and if I can get 12 rows done in one day, I should be able to get all 144 rows done in 12 days. As I'm sure Future Ben has already told you, I did not get enough yarn for this, so I better go and order some more yarn so that it comes in time. Alright, I'll let you get back to Future Ben and the tutorial for this blanket. So you want to pick up both strands of the yarn using the technique I showed you before, and now we are just alternating purple, white, or contrast colour, main colour, contrast colour, main colour. And again, the final instructions of row 3 are to chain 2 in the contrast colour and then turn the work. So I'm actually going to complete this stitch in the purple, which is my contrast colour, and chain 2 and turn the work. So row 4 is exactly the same as row 2, but we just want to make sure that our white yarn isn't going to be coming out of the back. We want it to be coming over the top. So I'm just going to bring it around my hook. So row 4 is just the same as row 2, and at every 24 stitches or 30 stitches roughly, you want to be untwisting your yarn. So you're just alternating 2 stitches of each colour, except for the first and last one, which is only going to be 1 half double crochet. So I'm on the last stitch of row 4, and the final instruction says to chain 2 in the main coloured yarn and turn the work. So I'm going to bring the purple yarn over the white yarn, chain 2 and turn the work, and then untwist. Row 5 is exactly the same as row 1. We are just going to half double crochet in white, half double crochet in purple, and repeat across the row. Now the final instruction of row 5 is to chain 2 in the main coloured yarn. So I'm going to complete this stitch in the main coloured yarn, and I'm going to chain 2. Now we're going to turn the work. Now row 6 and row 12 are the only rows where we have to do 4 half double crochets of the same colour in the row. So we're going to start with 2 half double crochets in the main colour, and then we're going to alternate doing 4 half double crochets in each colour until we get to the end where we're going to be doing 2 half double crochets in the main colour again. I actually want to pick up my purple yarn for this very first stitch, and I'm going to go underneath it. I'm going to insert my hook into the work. So now it looks like you've got 2 legs of the V, the purple and 2 white, yarn over in the white, pull through all the purple loops, and then yarn over in the white and pull through all white loops on the hook. For the next stitch, I'm not going to pick up this purple. I'm going to insert my hook into the work, yarn over, and then stop because we want to change to the purple here. Bring the working white yarn over the top of the purple, yarn over in the purple, and complete the stitch. Now for all these purple ones, I don't want to have a float of 4 stitches long in the white. So I'm going to pick up the white once during this consecutive 4 half double crochets in the purple. So I'm going to do that on the second one here because this is a white stitch and I want this to match. So I'm going to half double crochet in the purple, then I'm going to yarn over, go underneath this white, go into the work, hold the white with my thumb, yarn over the purple, and then yarn over and complete the stitch. So now I've just picked up that white, and then 2 more half double crochets in purple, not worrying about the white. Stop when you're on your final stitch of the 4, leaving 3 loops on the hook, bring the purple over the white, pick up the white, and complete the stitch. Now for the white one, we do not want to pick up the purple on the second stitch because this is a white stitch. We want to pick up on the 3rd stitch. So we're going to half double crochet 2, just as normal. Oops. Then this 3rd stitch is purple and we want to pick up the purple. So yarn over the white, go underneath that strand and into the work, yarn over, pull through a loop, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Then 1 more half double crochet in the white, stopping when you have 3 loops on the hook. Bring the working yarn over the other strand of yarn, and now we want to do 4 in purple. So complete that stitch in purple, half double crochet. Now this one we want to pick up the white, so we're not leaving too long of a float. Next one just as normal, and the 4th one, just pull through 1 loop and then change back to the white. And the last 2 are going to be in white, and I'm not going to bother about picking up that purple for these last 2. And the final instructions on row 6 is to chain 2 in the purple, or the contrasting colour. So I'm going to bring the white over the top and chain 2 in the contrasting colour. Now untwist your yarn. Sorry to interrupt again, but very excitingly, it's the morning of day 6 and I've just completed the 72nd row, which means I'm exactly halfway through the blanket and I'm super pleased with it so far. So I better get back to crocheting this and I'll let you get back to the tutorial. And now we are on row 7, which is exactly the same as row 3. So we're going to pick up the work and we're just going to alternate contrasting colour, main colour until we get to the other end. So I'm on my last stitch of row 7 and the instructions say to chain 2 in the main colour. So I'm just going to complete this stitch in the main colour and then I'm going to chain 2. Then turn the work. So row 8 is very similar to rows 2 and 4, except we're just mirroring the colours. So we're going to start with a white half double crochet, then we're going to alternate doing 2 half double crochets in each colour, and then the final half double crochet of the row will be in the white again. So let's start with half double crochet in the white, change to purple in the final loop, 2 in purple, 2 in white, and then continue alternating colours along the row. Don't forget, you need to untwist your yarn every 30 or so stitches. I'm on my last stitch of row 8, and the final instruction is to chain 2 in the white. So I'm already on white, so I'm just going to pull through a loop in the same colour and then chain 2 and turn the work. Row 9 is exactly the same as row 1. We're just going to alternate main colour, contrasting colour across the row. I'm on the final stitch of row 9, and now I need to chain 2 in the main colour. So I'm going to finish the stitch in the main colour and then chain 2 in the main colour. Turn the work. And now row 10 is exactly the same as row 8 was. We're going to start with a white half double crochet, then alternate 2, 2, 2, 2, and then finish with a white. I'm on the final stitch of row 10, and now I need to chain 2 in the contrasting colour. So I'm going to complete this stitch in the contrasting colour, chain 2, and turn the work. Row 11 is exactly the same as row 3, you're just alternating purple, white, purple, white. I'm on the last stitch of row 11 and I need to chain 2 in the main colour, so I'm just going to complete the stitch in the main colour and then chain 2. Turn the work. Row 12 is very similar to row 6, it's just mirrored. So we're going to start with 2 of the white, then we're going to alternate 4, 4, 4, 4, and then end with 2 in the white. So I'm not going to bother picking up the purple yarn in these first 2. And I'm going to change to the purple yarn in the last loop of that second half double crochet. And then I'm going to half double crochet 4 in the purple yarn. I'm going to pick up the white on that third stitch. So that's my 4. And then I'm going to change colours in the last loop, as we always do in changing colour. And then half double crochet 4 in the white, picking up that purple on the second where it matches. That's 4. Change back to the purple. And then the final 2 stitches are in white. And then the final instruction of row 12 is to chain 2 in the main colour. So I'm going to complete that stitch in the main colour and then chain 2. And don't forget, I need to untwist my yarn. So this is our 12 row pattern repeat. You just want to repeat these 12 rows 12 times. Now I want the top of my blanket to match the bottom of my blanket. So you can see I've got this kind of white line from the chain. So I want that on the top as well. So we're going to do 145th row so we can get a matching top and bottom. So to do this, we're going to do it slightly differently to how we've done the rest of the blanket. So for starters, we're going to want to hold the white yarn in front. So have the white yarn on the top, or the main coloured yarn, and insert your finger, twist, insert your finger. So now that the main colour yarn is in the front and the contrast colour yarn is in the back. Now we're going to alternate doing white, purple, but this time we're going to finish every single stitch with a white loop. So, yarn over, insert your hook into the work, yarn over, pull through a loop, and then complete that loop in the white, or complete that stitch in the white, I should say. Now, yarn over the purple, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over the purple, and then yarn over the white, complete that stitch in the white. Yarn over with the white, insert into the work, yarn over, pull through a loop, yarn over with the white, pull through all loops on the hook. Now yarn over the purple, insert into the work, yarn over with the purple, yarn over the white and pull through all 3 loops on the hook. So you're always ending your stitch with a white. Yarn over white, insert into the work. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over with the purple, insert into the work. Yarn over the purple, yarn over with the white, pull through all loops on the hook. Just keep doing this. This is the last stitch. Again, end it in white. Then, at the very end, you probably want to chain 1, break the yarn, pull it through, and you've completed your baby blanket. Mine is probably fit for a mouse, not a baby, but there you are. There is one more step you have to do, which is, of course, weave in the ends. And then you can block this, put it in the washing machine on the wool cycle. That's what I did. It didn't ruin it. It was fine. And then lay it out flat to dry. So in the end, I think it took me about 9 days to crochet the entire blanket, which I'm really happy with. I really love the outcome of this blanket. I love the colour work crochet. I'm really getting into it, as you can probably tell from my recent videos, but I think this is going to be my last blanket for a while because, as I said at the beginning of the video, I like small projects. And I think I'm definitely getting a bit of shoulder pain from all the hours and hours I put into this. Just as a reminder, if you want the written pattern, it is available on my Patreon, on all tiers, and on my Etsy and my Ravelry. If you enjoyed this colourwork crochet blanket, check out these colourwork crochet mittens, as they use very similar techniques and I think you will enjoy them. If you enjoyed this video and you found it useful, don't forget to give it a like. If you want to subscribe or leave a comment, that would really help my channel to grow and to get these lovely crochet tutorials out to more people. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!